this third round Thursday before quarterfinal Friday at the Big Ten tournament, and it's Rutgers to start it off. As always, what's changed with Rutgers, the key with Rutgers is not on this end of the floor, but the other end of the floor. They need offense, but the defensive improvement is what's made Steve Pikiell so happy.
Boy, what a great first set there by Steve Pikiell, where you've got a post up and the entire floor. Look at the perimeter. It is going to be completely spread out. You get Dylan Grant, you're going to rip him in there, and look at how high everybody else is around it. Trent Perry, he's three-quarters, but that's a great set by Pikiell to start the game.
And Dylan Grant, the 72% free throw shooter, to the line. It's been a slow end of the season scoring-wise for Dylan Grant. Not in double figures the last 5 games and under 6 points per game in that span.
I think it's telling to see them run the first play of the game to get him going. Active cutter, can be on the offensive glass, is capable of making a three from the perimeter. Kind of had the big start to scoring the season, Kevin. It looked like he was going to be one of their top guys in that regard, but he's fallen to Tariq Francis, who's had some monster scoring games.
Bilodeau trying to zip it in to Eric Daly, and he got a little too tall for the 6'8" forward underneath. And a turnover back to Rutgers. So Lino Mark will bring it up. Mark, 11.6 points per game over the last 7 games. Really has come on as a scorer. Remember, he started 0 for 18 from 3 this year.
We'll kind of see what the freshman has in terms of bouncing back. It wasn't his best against Minnesota, but he's been a big part of their resurgence here late in the year.
Here's Buchanan, 5 to shoot. Mark, baseline drive, got to the rim, got hung up underneath. Opportunity now for Obole inside, just strong.
Every time, Kevin, that I see Emmanuel Obole, I am blown away by the physical presence that he has. I mean, he's got the best body in the Big Ten. Absolutely chiseled.
It's like another muscle just crops up somewhere where you didn't see one the last time you saw him play.
He's on the all-grown man team, that's for sure.
Bilodeau, baseline jumper rattles around and home. There was a time when Robbie Hummel was known as the all-grown man team. At Purdue.
Never was on that team. Never made that one.
Handed a poor note. Buchanan will step in. The deep triple is off, and the rebound Bilodeau.
And that's not really Buchanan's game necessarily. Even though he shoots a good percentage, he really wants to be a driver and a facilitator.
Double comes at Daly, gets rid of it. Here's Bilodeau, top of the key, 3 is short. Perry the rebound. From the elbow, that jumper won't go, and the back tap out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bruins.
Bole, if he gets on to Bilodeau, he has got to have a better sense of awareness of what Bilodeau is. Just the way that he shoots the basketball leads the Big Ten in terms of three-point percentage at 46%. If he's got switched out onto him, he has got to be in his airspace and make him feel that.
Re-enter it to Bilodeau, spinning baseline, and a foul called on Dylan Grant.
I like that UCLA, to start their first couple possessions, has gone to Tyler Bilodeau down there in the post, 50% on post-ups for the year. And it's whether he's getting to that turnaround jumper that's his patented move, or kind of pivoting and finding his way to the rim. Good things are going to happen when you get Bilodeau the ball down there on the block.
Bilodeau, 3rd team all Big Ten, came in 33 points away to reaching the 1,000 point mark in a UCLA uniform. Remember, had 2 years at Oregon State. Kind of underlines the prolific scorer that he has been.
Well, and just the improvement as a shooter, right?
Yep.
The numbers from his freshman year to junior and senior year. Just that ability to spread the floor. He is a tough cover, inside and out.
Knotted up at 4 early on here in Chicago. What kind of pace does Rutgers want for this game?
I think that they're going to look to be opportunistic and push, just because that's been kind of a bit of a surge. Yeah, they've turned you over more, but they've also gotten out and they've been opportunistic in the open floor.
There's Obole, double comes, and he took an extra step. It's a amazing to think of this when I talk about pace. That's the reason I asked, because not a fast break point last night, which is really rare for this team this year.
And their fast break numbers here over this little stretch where they've won more games have been way up. And even over the course of conference play, in Big Ten play, they're third in fast break points per game.
Perry will step into a three. And Mark will just watch that one go out of bounds. It'll belong to Rutgers.
Rutgers has been content to go to this little zone. You're going to have to rebound out of it. And UCLA, not by any means an offensive rebounding juggernaut here, but out of that zone, that's always a concern.
Here's Lino Mark. Around the screen, open is Francis for three. Tariq Francis' first opportunity is off.
A wide open shot. UCLA had just lost it.
Here's Perry. Baseline with a Abole on his hip.
Pretty good job of Abole. You get beat initially, but with that size, you just hang in there. You make Trent Perry feel that.
Dent with the pivot and the pirouette against Francis.
As you jump stop, you give yourself so many options. Donovan Dent totally under control. Jump stop, pivot, find the angle.
Under control has kind of been his moniker all season long. And you see it reflected in those numbers. Aaron Buchanan, 8 to shoot. Buchanan inside, ball poked free. Ends up with Mark, 3 to shoot. From the elbow, the jumper a little strong, and Rutgers just 1 for 5 from the floor to start this ball game. Daly spins baseline and he's fouled.
Donovan Dent just playing at such a high level here as UCLA has made their late season surge. That jump stop, turnaround, get to the floater. It's hard because with his speed, you're thinking, I got to give everything I've got to cut that dribble off going to his left. And he jump stops and you keep going and he's just getting to that strong right hand.
Well, he was so highly touted as a transfer. Everybody expected massive things when he transferred from New Mexico. He had such a tremendous year there. And then you look at the start to the season, and it was a little slow for Donovan Dent. And boy, it's the last month and a half been really, really good.
And I think, Kevin, even for great players, you know, new situations can be challenging. And even though UCLA, with the talent they have on this team, and it's a well-coached group, I think when you don't shoot the ball well early, and that's the foul line, that's the three-point line, it can mess with even really good players' confidence. And it's taken Donovan Dent some time to maybe find that.
8-0 run for UCLA to open up the 8-4 lead. Two teams met in early February. It was 98-66 UCLA at Pauley Pavilion.
UCLA did a good job on Tariq Francis in that game. Only 12 points, only 8 shot attempts. Let's see if the Bruins can limit him tonight like that.
Francis needs that one. He's still scoreless. Clark will push it up the floor and then slam on the brakes.
Sky Clark is bringing back the 2000 shorts here. I'm with it. Bring it back.
A little longer, they'll be driving on the floor. Mark on the drive. Here's Francis trying to get his offensive game going. Oh, rejection. Eric Freeney. Nothing free against that freshman.
Francis is you've got to have Francis with his A game, which he's more than capable of. And I think Darren Buchanan has got to have one of those games where he's just touching the paint and spraying it to everybody else. Rutgers going to need to make some perimeter jump shots. I like this zone early on. It's kept UCLA out here on the perimeter. Got to find the middle.
All perimeter on that possession, but they roll home the 3 from Sky Clark. You talked about him at the top of the broadcast.
Well, he was 2 of his last 10 coming in, so a big shot for his confidence. But I've been pretty amazed that in the 7 games back, Kevin, from that hamstring injury, he shot 38% from 3. Those long absences for shooters, not easy to come back from it, and he's done it pretty well.
Well, when he's on the floor, this offense is just flat out better. You look at the points per possession, up by 10 points per game with him out there.
There's Rutgers touching the paint, extra pass, and seeing one go down. Zerno is out there to be a threat from 3 and spread the floor. He was 1 of his last 11 and knocks down his first look.
21-year-old freshman, we got a foul away from the ball. That ends a drought of over 4 minutes. Well, you look at Sky Clark, and this is what we're talking about. 10.5 points per 100 possessions better with him on the floor than without him out there, and it does come down to space.
Yeah, because you're now giving Donovan Dent so much room to operate when you have to account for Bilodeau, Clark, and Trent Perry. I mean, that floor is spread, and you've got a point guard that can set the table for everybody out there.
Clark with that shot fake off the inbound. He'll drive inside, and everything but the bucket. He got past Mark.
UCLA on those under out of bounds. That strong side corner. They are looking to score off that. Big cut by Mark and a foul call.
Lino Mark to the line for a pair. One of the better offensive possessions for Rutgers as far as the attacking philosophy for Steve Pikiell's team.
Getting stops and being able to play against a not set defense. You kind of mentioned, Kevin, just the success they've had of getting some transition and some easy baskets. There, that defense is not set. Lino Mark, great cut.
Both these teams trying to overcome a common theme in their season this year, and that's winning away from their home building. It's really strange when you look at it. Both of these teams only 4 wins away from their respective home arenas. They charged this foul to Bilodeau, and he whipped on that.
Yeah, Clark got him on the wrist there. Yeah, just depending on how this game unfolds, it could be big.
Keep that in the back of your mind if Bilodeau runs into foul problems later on in this game. Extend the defense a little bit now for Rutgers. Williams at the free throw line, and Buchanan the rebound. Usually when you attack that press to score, you're looking for a layup, but Brandon Williams, he takes a 15-footer, and Nick Cronin, tell you, he didn't love that shot. Buchanan bullying his way inside against Williams, and Rutgers back within 1.
That is his game right there, Kevin. Buchanan built like a linebacker, so he is not going to fear contact. Go right through your chest.
You've got Buchanan built like a linebacker. You've got Obole built like a defensive lineman.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Like a guy hanging out at Venice Beach. Rutgers looking for the lead after another stop. Buchanan needs some help. Zerno trying to provide it. Haroon Zerno rolling to the rim, and he took an extra step.
How good was that by Sky Clark? Of not just moving his feet, navigating the screens, but then pulling the chair out. Zerno, he's leaning in. And Sky Clark wants this kind of beat initially, stays in the play, and then just gets out of the way. And Zerno goes down to the floor.
Donovan Dent back to work with this UCLA offense up 1.
If UCLA can find the middle here. Right now they got Brandon Williams. It's been a lot of perimeter passing and not much penetration of the zone.
Xavier Booker in there trying to recreate his big performance against Rutgers a month ago at Pauling. Inside that zone now, and Freeney can't get it to go, and Booker going to be called for the foul. Working against Jermichael Davis, and Booker picks up his first. Only 2 points in the paint so far for UCLA.
UCLA, you've got a real mismatch. Give a lot of credit to Jermichael Davis. Now, hook and hold could come into play there. Jermichael Davis is fighting for his life. He's got Xavier Booker, and he's given up a ton of size.
Just 9 inches. About 60 pounds. Here's Mark. Oh, slicing through the lane. Mark to the rim.
He's got some burst there, Kevin. And if you get lost, you're going to see UCLA build a wall on some of this dribble penetration. But you get lost on Mark, it's going to be hard to catch back up at his speed.
An 8-0 run for Rutgers, answering the 11-0 run for UCLA. 10 to shoot. Trent Perry. Dent inside. Williams down low for 2.
You just had Dylan Grant run away from Brandon Williams. And it's like he was trying to switch to have a bigger player go in there. But the sad thing is, Dylan Grant is one of the bigger players out there right now. So I don't know where he was going.
Post entry to Grant. Good defense by UCLA.
A wild shot there.
See what Dent can do here for the Bruins. Flip back to Booker. The triple. Up and down for Xavier Booker. Shooting at 44% from three this year.
He had a monster game against Rutgers. The only time they met, 24 points, 4 threes. If they're going to ice that ball screen and keep it on the side, Xavier Booker will have opportunities to pick and pop.
Davis probing baseline. That pull-up won't go. Offensive rebound. Buchanan's shot won't go. He wanted a foul, didn't get the whistle.
He's got to worry more about scoring it opposed to drawing a foul. It was like he was just throwing his body into the UCLA defense.
Dent.
Oh, what a move.
Beautiful. To the rim for two.
That stop and start and just the ability to change directions. Donovan Dent has the afterburners, but there, that change of direction with the behind the back, that is major league.
So we had an 11-0 run, then an 8-0 run, now a 7-0 run, and a drive inside to stop the 7-0 run and draw Rutgers within 4.
Trent Perry has got to do a better job of containing the dribble there. And that's just a straight-up blow-by there. Michael Davis getting baseline and help not coming over.
Dent. Physical. Blocked at the rim. The swat from Grant. Rutgers on the push. Grant end-to-end. It's poked out of his hands. And then a tie-up. Possession arrow UCLA. And a timeout on the floor. Xavier Booker, a 24-point night at Pauley against these Scarlet Knights. 4 of them from 3 in that ball game. Trying to change that. So our 3 officials, kudos to them for keeping that in the back of their mind and making sure they had the right one. They got it right. Clark, proud owner of one new foul, turns it over. Tariq Francis will push it up the floor, trying to get in the scoring column. Francis tripped up from behind Jamal Brown. Francis thought he was fouled. He's slow getting up the floor. 5-on-4 right now as Clark trying to take advantage. Studs a 3. And the rebound to Caden Powers.
Steve Peichel still letting the refs hear about that. One thing I'll say, though, Rutgers has been a team early in this game that's not been willing to give the ball. But I know Tariq Francis is a point guard, but you give it up, you have the opportunity to get it back. Now, we'll see if he gets tripped here. Oh, yeah, that's totally... Was that his foot?
That was his foot,
I
think.
Foot.
I think he tripped on his own foot there. Watch again. Although he caught his knee first. Yes, it did. And then tripped over his own foot. I never doubted you for a minute.
You turned on me so fast.
And I will again. Jermichael Davis has it swatted by Booker. And here comes UCLA. Numbers if they hurry. In the corner. Kick out, it goes to Brown. The 3 dies on the back iron. Rebound underneath for the Bruins, and we've got a whistle and a travel.
Mark Brown has struggled with that jumper. Conference play down to 25% from threes, 2 of his last 12. Really under control, though, by Eric Daly. He came to a jump stop, surveyed the floor. They got a wide open shot.
Nick Cronin's team, they've done a good job so far on Tariq Francis. One of the big reasons they have the lead. Francis 0 for 3 from the floor, and he's turned it over once in 7 minutes.
I just was impressed with the way that UCLA was able to limit his looks, right? And they played back in early February. He just didn't get the field goal attempts that you'd expect a scorer of his caliber to get.
Here's Francis. Trying to get it inside. That'll be a foul on Booker. That's number 2 on Xavier Booker. That's a big moment in this game considering the impact he had a month ago on this one.
No doubt. Made an early shot here in this one. And I think when you look at, though, getting Bilodeau back on the floor at the 5, UCLA becomes, just a nightmare to guard with Bilodeau. And Xavier Booker can burn you too, but Bilodeau is just such an efficient force inside and out.
Cannon has to back it up. Now he'll re-enter against Perry. On the run, the scoop, an offensive foul. Wave it off.
Trent Perry was heating up that ball, and the great pressure release can be the dribble drive. The question will be, is Bilodeau outside of that restricted area? Yes, he is. Bilodeau going in there, taking a charge and taking a basket off the scoreboard.
UCLA will take it up the floor. Rutgers has turned it over 3 times in the last 2 minutes. Bilodeau short on that triple, and the rebound tipped out of bounds to the Bruins.
Rutgers a couple times here with their pressure has just not been attentive to UCLA shooters. Bilodeau, that is way too open of a look off one pass.
UCLA's missed their last 4, but they're not going to keep missing.
No, not for those shooters looks. With those types of looks. Good slip by Daly.
Bole slamming the door on Daly. Buchanan, the Euro step, a little strong, and the rebound ends up with Perry. Aerial push. He's got Bole on it. Now Dent matched up against the big man. Out it goes to Perry. The triple snaps the twine, and UCLA up by 7.
It's just a simple swing the ball and let Trent Perry fire right there. That floor spacing, 41% from 3 on the year.
Francis cannot shake Trent Perry. Here's Powers. Off balance jumper won't go. Offensive rebound. Now Francis. Probing, looking, tough jumper. It won't go. Ends up with Dent.
How about Jamar Brown just getting a fingertip and knocking that away from a Bole?
Bilodeau to the logo. Fouled. And to the line after the timeout. 7-point lead for UCLA. 14 lead for the Bruins of UCLA over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights from Tony's backyard in New Jersey. 7:19 to go in this opening half, and to the line goes Tyler Bilodeau.
Straight in, second guy, don't push him on. Straight in, don't pinch.
6 early points for Bilodeau and a 23-14 lead for UCLA.
See if Rutgers can kind of find some rhythm offensively. One of their last 8, they've turned the ball over 3 times the last 3 minutes. They haven't scored in over 3 minutes. They've got to get this thing moving from side to side and find some good offense here. It's a lot of dribbling, a lot of standing around.
Lino Mark driving inside for 2.
That's just Lino Mark going and making an individual play, but Emmanuel Bole clearing the runway there inside, sealing off and giving Mark a little lane to go.
He's the first Scarlet Knight above the 3-point mark. He's got 5. And when you think of how his season started, he was not a prolific scorer. Struggled from 3, but he's really come on of late.
Has.
And an offensive foul. And that is on Tyler Bilodeau, and they swapped those fouls. Remember, had they not swapped it, that would have been his second.
Yeah, so big that they caught that.
So the first on Bilodeau, he'll sit down, get a breather in a 7-point game.
Some coaching. Wait, honestly, a question would be, does Mick Cronin realize that he had his foul taken off?
Yeah, because Bilodeau wasn't out there very long.
Also getting an earful of Cronin.
We'll assume he does, and that he just wanted to aggressively counsel it. Here's Zerno. The triple rattles home, and just like that, here come the Scarlet Knights back within 4.
The reaction to that dribble drive, and Zerno 33% from 3 on the season, but you lose track of him. He is out there to let it fly. It's the 6th highest rate in the Big Ten, and 80% of his shots coming from 3.
Dent on the drive, won't go. And Buchanan, good box out. Now on the run, Mark will kick. Zerno.
I thought Mark could have taken that the whole way. Zerno just made one.
Mark inside, a tougher shot. He can't get that to go. Bole in there battling for it, and the loose ball heads to the sideline to Dent. Booker back out there in the mix with those 2 fouls. Daly, contested jumper, but the way he has played down the stretch, not a surprise.
And that's the shot that he really likes. He is very comfortable in the mid-range. To get to that pull-up off the bounce, but there, he'll size you. If your hands are in your pockets, he'll just let it go.
Francis, good defense. Oh, what a play. Outstanding save to keep that alive.
Xavier Booker wasn't going anywhere. He was going to stay with that ball. As long as Tariq Francis had it, he wasn't going anywhere.
Daly couldn't dislodge Buchanan, and Dent, who had that save, back into the play. Here's Booker. He'll step into a three. Strong, and Lino Marks got it for the board.
He went upstairs to get that one.
Francis. Francis still scoreless in this game. Rutgers only down 6. That baseline trap comes, needs some help. Buchanan in trouble. Trying to fight through. It's Zerno in the scramble. Finds the three.
Just the way Rutgers drew it up. Going to be some big-time games.
Huge games. I mean, quarterfinal Friday, in most people's opinion, is the best day at the Big Ten tournament.
It's all day. You're getting close to crowning a champion. Rutgers dropping back in that zone again, trying to mix and match on UCLA.
Bilodeau will have to kick that out. Back it goes to Bilodeau. 10 to shoot. UCLA has struggled with this zone. Perry, though, got a good look. That three won't go, and Francis swooping by commits his second personal foul.
I think, Kevin, that Rutgers started zone, then went man-to-man, but you have a miscommunication. You don't handle the ball screen well, and then just the contact on Perry on the release. You got a couple mental breakdowns. That's the definition of compounding your mistakes.
It has been a rough first half for one of the best players on the floor in Tariq Francis. And despite the fact that he has not scored, he has 2 fouls. They're within 3 points.
Yeah, Steve Pikiell's got to feel great about that. You can get Francis going. Zerno has been a massive contributor here off the bench. And he kind of found the rhythm against Minnesota. And now that he's 3 for 3, all of them coming from the three-point line. The rest of the team just 5 of 20 from the field. So what a shot of firepower for Rutgers coming off the bench tonight.
Well, the true freshman, although talking about a 21-year-old freshman who originally committed to Mike Woodson at Indiana.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, when the changes happened at IU, he flipped to Rutgers. And boy, has Steve Pikiell been happy to have the freshman from Bosnia on his squad. If it's possible to be a veteran freshman, and I guess we see it all across college basketball now. 21 years old in his first year of college hoops. 5-point UCLA lead.
UCLA just switching all that screen for the screener, and that's a good switch by Bilodeau to pop out there and take away anything Jermichael Davis could have had.
And he had designs. Here's Zerno. Shot clock down to 7. Rutgers is after to go to work here with Grant. Now Mark. Mark, a step back three. That line drive shot rebounded by Daly. Daly will try to get into the act on this end, and the rebound Buchanan.
Mick Cronin just looked to Brandon Williams and said, go get him. He didn't like that shot.
Both teams 8 of 24 from the floor in this one. Mark turns the corner. The kick out to an open Dylan Grant. A great look.
Oh, it was a phenomenal pass. Roll over place. Got him a good look.
Guy Clark in trouble. Finds Bilodeau. Wide open three.
It's happened a couple times for UCLA where in transition, their handlers have jump stopped, let that defense just come right with the ball, and then looked out to the three-point line. And you've got Bilodeau lining one up in the trail spot.
8-point advantage. 8 assists on 9 made buckets for UCLA. 6 of those assists for Dent. Grant with the spin, rebound batted by Bilodeau, and it'll stay with UCLA.
Tyler Bilodeau is calling for it the whole way, and look at how much attention that Sky Clark has drawn. You've got 4 Rutgers defenders all flattened out beneath the Big Ten logo. Tyler Bilodeau ready and waiting top of the key.
People really excited. Social media is humming right now because they've noticed the improvement in Robbie Hummel's telestrating game from the start of this broadcast to now.
Well, I handled adversity early.
You really
had
did.
one where my guy was low in the telly, and I drew a bad circle, but I've recovered.
You have. And believe me, it's being noticed. The world of social media is just
By you.
Oh, I'm pointing it out. Davis, the three won't go. And Bilodeau secures that rebound. If nothing else, I would point out your successes.
Yes, thank you. So good to be back with you.
It has been a while. I don't know what happened. All of a sudden you were gone. Now you're back. And then you'll be gone again. Williams. Here's Dent. 8 to shoot. Dent back out to Bilodeau. Drops it off for another open 3. Williams, the rebound poked out of his hands. Clark will just step in for a 3.
Great looks for UCLA.
And Rutgers, since Francis left, they are scoreless.
That icing the ball screen with Bilodeau out there is living dangerous with that pick and pop threat that he is.
Obole inside, just a man among boys inside there.
And the thing is, he's got a guard on here, especially when he's matched up with Bilodeau, but they've got to guard him on the other end too. You know, who can flip the matchup? I don't think Rutgers knows what defense they're in. It's man or zone.
They're hoping that also fools UCLA. Bilodeau fading away, and Obole the rebound.
It's a settle there from Bilodeau. You get Obole, you want to put him in space, put him on the perimeter, drive him.
It feels like it's been a rather uneven offensive performance from Rutgers. You can look up, it's a 6-point game. And to shoot for Mark. Davis, 5 on the shot clock.
Perfect read. Brandon Williams was like a free safety. He was just waiting on that post entry. That's on the passer. That passer has got to be the eyes. That big guy, he has no idea he's there.
Our halftime show presented by Harbor Freight. Dave Rebson, Rayfeld Davis, and Seth Davis coming up. Here's Dent with 3 seconds. Fades away. Can't get it to go. Mark the rebound. 3-quarter court heave. No good. And halftime arrives. 30-24 Rutgers. That's very true. UCLA fully expects and are in, according to our Mike DeCourcy, into the NCAA tournament. For Rutgers, their only path to the NCAA tournament is to win in the Big Ten tournament here in Chicago. We've got a little pause here. There's a issue at the scorer's table as they try to get the clock set for the second half.
Kevin, think about it as well. Mike DeCourcy has UCLA as an 8.
Yep.
And if you can win this game and then find a way to get Michigan State and get to a 7, that is just in terms of getting away from the 1 seed.
Right.
There's a major opportunity here for UCLA.
Well, there's a lot of folks that when you look at the brackets, obviously Arizona's going to be a 1. It wouldn't surprise anybody to see Arizona in San Diego. They're going to need an 8-9. Do you keep UCLA as an 8 or a 9 out there and have a former rematch, if you will, potentially of two old conference mates?
Well, they saw each other in November. They played it at the Intuit Dome. It's a great game.
4-point loss for UCLA against Arizona. They had a foul issue on the scoreboard. They had to reset the fouls that were on the scoreboard here in the arena. They have done so, and here we go in the second half. Final half of basketball for the night before quarterfinal Friday tips off on the Big Ten Network.
Let's see if Tariq Francis can get this going. Really tough first half for a guy who's been scoring the ball at will.
Found an open lead on Mark for 3, and Mark, who was so ragged from behind the arc to start the season, brings Rutgers within a triple.
Francis coming off the ball screen, and while that's happening on the strong side, Mark is getting pinned in. And you would have never said back in December that Rutgers is running a catch-and-shoot 3-point play for Lino Mark.
Bilodeau, catch and shoot. Degree of difficulty very high.
No doubt about that. Talk about threading the needle with that pass. You had a couple Rutgers defenders right there.
Double figures for the first time. Bilodeau with 11. Here's Francis. Is this the possession he breaks the seal? Obole inside, going to work, and Trent Perry got down there and looked up and went, what are we doing?
Boy, that was kind of an in-between. Do I take a charge? Do I try to body up with Obole? I like, though, how Obole pushed Eric Daly Jr. right up that lane.
Perry was smiling all the way up the floor after that. Discretion being the better part of valor, and then swatted inside by Dylan Grant. Watch this again.
He's the help defense. Look at how Daly gets pushed up there. And Obole just kind of turns and The grown man strength takes over from there.
And Trent Perry the entire way up the floor, just a sheepish grin like, what do you want me to do?
I think Mick Cronin could have an answer for him.
Yes, I think he could too. That was a rhetorical question towards his coach as Eric Daly hits the two, make it a 5-point game.
Daly just so comfortable in that mid-range.
He figures 15 of his last 20 games. He's got 6 tonight. Bole and Bilodeau battling on that left block. Here's Grant down the right side of the lane. Good defense by Daly. Now the quick push to Dent. Who zips that pass? Extra ball pass into the corner. Clark to three, won't go. And the rebound ends up with Mark.
Well, UCLA has had some great looks from three and just haven't knocked many of them down.
Francis trying to get it to Mark and he throws it away. Perry, the alley-oop into the rim. Daly without the flourish, but it still counts.
But think about, Kevin, the difference between some of Rutgers' fast break opportunities where there's a lot of dribbling versus UCLA there. Give it up early and you are getting it right back there. Mature play from both Daly and Perry.
This time they've scored a foul. Okay, Rutgers turnover, and now another opportunity with the foul here on Grant.
A bit of a frustration play here. Trent Perry bringing the pressure, and I mean that's always going to be a foul there. So Grant going to take a seat. What? What did I do?
Other than the push, I didn't do anything.
Just the shove to the throat.
Bilodeau, set three, and here comes UCLA. All of a sudden, their largest lead of the night at 10.
Too easy, though. Rutgers goes to that 2-3 zone. It gave UCLA some issues in the first half. It's just a simple Bilodeau leak out to the line and a lack of an awareness by the Scarlet Knights that he is the best shooter on the floor for UCLA.
It's a 7-0 run, 5 of the 7 points off turnovers, and another turnover. That'll be a foul on Obole.
Sky Clark, he's the low man here, and he just read this beautifully. He is coming over this screen, and he's just going to make his way back into the play. They switched that. Look at how he reads this. He is getting off Buchanan and getting to the ball. Really well done. Great instincts by Sky Clark.
Now UCLA trying to take complete control. Bilodeau in the corner, the three. No, the follow by Perry and a foul on Obole.
Rutgers is showing some cracks here. It's too easy, and then there's a lack of blockouts. Some of the fundamentals are going out the window. 1 and 2 passes leading to wide open shots. Trent Perry doing a nice job of crashing.
Second foul on Obole in as many trips down the floor, and Perry will go to the line. A 10-point lead, and Steve Pikiell knows that with the ups and downs of his young squad, you can't afford to get too far out of touch with anybody, and UCLA is as potent as you can get.
And old.
And old.
Difference between experience of UCLA versus what Rutgers has on the floor. You get your Michael Davis out there, a guy that's a team captain and also a junior. Tariq Francis a junior, but there's a lot of young guys that are playing for Rutgers.
Francis still scoreless after the Rutgers Big Ten tournament record last night. He'll sit and ruminate on that as UCLA, in the midst of a 9-0 run, will go back defensively.
I was a little surprised that was the record. I thought Sanders would have. Oh,
that's a way to break a 9-0 run.
Well, talk about too easy. Simple ball screen. Nobody wants to get in front of that freight train. Obole all the way to the rim, uncontested on the roll.
This will shock you. It's still shaking on the other end as Perry's three drops. Donovan Dent calmly signals over to the scorer's table that should be 3 more. 44-31 UCLA. What a start to this second half. They've doubled up Rutgers. Davis off the shot fake. Good help from Dent. And then a turnover. Dent with the interception. On the run. Dent, the floater, no. His tip won't go. Gets his own miss again. Perry will find Bilodeau. UCLA to Daly now. In the scramble, 10 to shoot. Here's Dent. Sips it over to Perry. Steps in for a 3. Dent, another rebound.
UCLA is just playing harder than Rutgers right now. They're trying to put them away.
And Dent doing a lot of the lifting in that regard. 3 rebounds on the possession, and Steve Pikiell's going to take a timeout. 46-30.
Shot the ball at such a high level.
Just got a text from one of your former teammates. Was it true you were known as Robbie Hands High Hummel?
You gotta let them know.
Okay, just making sure. Rick Francis still on the bench after the timeout, trying to find some offense. Caden Powers out there. Davis will try the 3, and that's a big bucket off the timeout from Steve Pikiell.
A response that they had to have. Jamichael Davis actually shooting 35% from 3 over the last 6 games. But that ball moved from side to side. At times, Rutgers has gotten way too stagnant. You get that action with the ball screen, get the roll, and then find the other side with the action.
And they lock it down on this end again. Already 16 second half points for UCLA after scoring 30 in the first half. 2 to shoot for Scott Clark. To Perry, has to launch the 3. Rebound batted to Zerno. Rutgers got the stop. What can they do on this end of the floor?
Obole had the dunk in on Bilodeau and missed him.
Powers on the baseline. There's Obole underneath. Offensive rebound. Bilodeau with the swat.
Really good play there by Bilodeau to just put that thing to the board.
On the drive, it's Dent. No, and Buchanan starts it up for Rutgers. Buchanan end-to-end, loping to the rim. Tough shot for Buchanan.
He held that way out there. Buchanan, a guy that will force the issue in the open court. He is going to be opportunistic. He can score in transition with that body. He'll look to do so.
10-point game. Here's Dent. 10 to shoot. Back to Dent to orchestrate something late. Shot clock. Clark turning the corner with the spin to the rim. That was beautiful from Sky Clark.
That shot clock had to go make a play. Can you contain the dribble? Sky Clark taking your right and spinning it right back to the left.
What a lift to get him back on February 10th after a month out with that hamstring injury.
Good on-ball defender. Obviously having a fantastic season shooting the basketball.
Good shot from the elbow for Darren Buchanan. Back-to-back buckets.
Really being a scorer here in the second half. That game against Minnesota, he's a little bit of everything. 5 rebounds, 7 assists, no turnovers. They can kind of play him as a point forward.
Rutgers 6 of 9 from the floor in this second half. Daly trying to slow down Rutgers. Can't hit that jumper.
A good look. Drop coverage, that pocket pass. Well executed by Dent.
Here's Buchanan. He's been the scorer, and the foul is called. A timeout on the floor after the foul on Trent Perry. UCLA trying to point. There's never been one at the Big Ten tournament.
35 to play. Yes, he absolutely is.
Okay. There's only been 4 in all of UCLA basketball history.
Surprising.
Again, anytime you talk about UCLA basketball history, I understand the players you're talking about,
Yeah, right.
which is a who's who of basketball. Didn't have the block or assist numbers in the Kareem era or the Walton era, so that definitely put an asterisk by that. Zerno trying for a 3, and he cannot connect. Missed for the first time tonight.
See if UCLA can push this out. It felt like they were gaining that total control, and Rutgers has a little bit of a spurt. But the 10 points it's at now, it looks like UCLA's going to have an opportunity to do just that.
Williams. Here's Dent. 5 to shoot. Looking to make a play. Late shot clock. He'll shovel it to Booker. Step back 3. High arcing shot, and that did not hit the rim. It's a shot clock violation.
UCLA has been content to work that deep in the clock, and boy, here you go, Xavier.
8 times it's gone chalk to the quarters. If UCLA hangs on to this, it will be another chalk quarterfinals, but oh my. The matchups that we already have are something special. Powers trying to drop it off underneath for the turnover.
Boy, but the awareness by Xavier Booker there totally saves that play. He saw Trent Perry was way behind, and UCLA has switched out a lot of the off-the-ball action. But that's great recognition by the big to see that that guard is not going to be there, and he knew he had to jump out there, and he saves the day.
15 to shoot for Clark. Perry around the Booker screen. Drop off to Booker underneath. Everything but two, and there's a foul. Pushed in the back. Yep.
Still, even with that contact, that should have been a three-point play for Xavier Booker.
Derek Buchanan with the push. The whistle came right away. Mick Cronin still argued that there should have been a foul called, and then was told there was a foul called, and he still wasn't.
He wanted it earlier.
He wanted it earlier. I don't blame him. Booker with one more at the line. Here comes Tariq Francis back in the game. He's been on the bench the last 5.5 minutes. Has not scored.
Still scoreless, 0 for 5 from the field. And we saw Caden Powers early in this game, and in the first or only meeting between these two teams, he had 18 points in that game. He hasn't scored. So you look at kind of what happened in that first, and it was a big-time UCLA win. But the guys that contributed in that one in a big way haven't been as effective here tonight.
Zerno inside got free, and there will be a foul called against UCLA's Trent Perry, and that'll be his third.
He's just not ready to guard. Yeah, it's just Zerno sees that, ducks in. It's immediately they're finding that.
Tipped out of bounds. Difference in this second half, at least one of them, Robbie, has been the fact that Rutgers has got a little sloppy with the ball, and UCLA has cashed in 10-0 points off turnovers in the second half.
Good cut by Davis.
Davis's floater won't go, and the discard underneath gave Grant a chance.
Xavier Booker kind of got in the vision there and contested that. Something that Grant's got to make, but credit to Booker for keeping that effort and keeping that play alive.
And still on triple-double watch, although since we put him on triple-double watch, he has not done much to add.
Quieted.
Williams gathers in the paint. That's a tough gather, but he can't get it to roll home, and the rebound by Grant. Davis drop-off for Grant. And Williams just jarred that ball loose. Outstanding play by Williams, now on the run. Booker on the track. Soaring in with the left hand. That's the underlying factor of the difference in this game.
Because Rutgers actually is 6 of 12 from the field in the second half. They haven't been efficient. They just turned it over far too much. They haven't rebounded either. UCLA has been able to get second and third chances at it.
You can't baseline drive through the contact. Count that bucket and one more chance at the line.
Anytime you can get Darren Buchanan down there in that post area. 6'7", 235. Sky Clark gives up the angle. That's got to be one where you're three-quarter, and as soon as that pass is thrown, you're not going through the passing lane. You're getting back up underneath and making him score over the top.
Second foul on Clark. To the line goes Buchanan. Ten-point game in Chicago with 9:57 to go.
Rutgers has just kind of hung around here. UCLA has had their chances to really push this out.
Here's Dent. Just 3 for 10 from the floor for Dent tonight. 10 on the shot clock. Dent fading away. Tough shot.
Gets that ice coverage there. They're trying to keep him on the side. Donovan Dent, little in and out, create that space and go right over the top with the pull-up.
So Bole. Buchanan now finding Davis. Here's Francis, still scoreless. 9:10 to go. Leaning in, and he'll look for his first points at the line. The contact from Brandon Williams.
UCLA is so disciplined with their switches there, but then you've got to stay disciplined with the shot fake. Maybe this jump starts Tariq Francis. He's been on a scoring tear here.
Oh, last 16 games, 20.2 points per game. 25 games in double figures this year. And now he goes to the line where he is.
Don't want to put him here.
No, 90%. 90.4% at the line, and he rattles that one home. The third best shooting percentage in a single season at the line in Rutgers history. On the board at the 9:09 mark for the first time tonight. Now maybe that's enough to jumpstart. Yeah. We've seen it before.
It scores. All it takes is one.
A different pace to this game than the one a month ago at Pauley Pavilion.
Rutgers wanted to travel there.
Didn't get the whistle, and now UCLA with 15 to shoot. Dent, crossover against Zerno, to the rim for 2 more. He's got 10.
Well, off the press, Donovan Dent had the matchup that he wanted. You've got Harun Zerno in space. It's just, you don't run plays, you just get out of the way and let him go to work.
So Dent now with 10 to go with his 7 rebounds and 9 assists. Francis. Sky Clark was behind, but then got back in the play and was right there on the catch. Cannon forced up that deep 2 in the corner.
You want to see him drive it.
Dent again. 14 for Bilodeau tonight. Trying to move Buchanan inside, and the foul called.
He's tough in there because he can go right jump hook, he can go turnaround jumper, he can face you and play. Like, he's got a real variety of moves that he can go to in the post.
5th foul on Rutgers. Dent will be the trigger man on the inbound here. Bilodeau against Zerno. Extra pass. Dent in the corner, the 3 short. And Dent gets his own rebound. Inside, he finds Freeney for 2.
And that's just a play where Donovan Dent wants it a little bit more than everybody else on the floor. And as for the triple-double watch, he gets the rebound and he gets the assist.
Knocking on the door now. Dent, a career-high 9 rebounds. 10 points. 10 assists, 9 rebounds. There's never been a triple-double at the Big Ten tournament. Dent, the dish, the spin by Clark, and Obole changed that shot.
Ooh, Sky Clark, he's come up a little bit. He's limping down the floor.
And remember, that hamstring kept him out for a month. Looks like he's favoring that right leg. And the officials are going to stop this one.
I hope it's not that hamstring.
He is limping off the floor. Watch Sky Clark. I think excellent news if you're a UCLA fan.
And he just allows them to play in a way where they can go small, they can go big with Booker on the floor the way they are now, but it gives McCronin options. It keeps the guy that really guards the ball in the mix.
Perry blocked off by Obole. Here's Dent. He needs 1 rebound for a triple-double. And the ball taken away by Lino Mark. Outstanding play by Rutgers defensively, and then the turnover.
It's the right idea, but the pass is just off target.
Saturday night, don't miss women's gymnastics when Jordan Childs leads the Big Ten champion Bruins against Utah. Live coverage begins at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. 57-45. Bruins trying to win themselves into a date with Michigan State tomorrow night. UCLA lost at East Lansing 82-59 earlier this season, and Francis punches it out of bounds. It'll stay with UCLA. Well, for those of you that are gathering your families around the TV for triple-double watch, Donovan Dent is 1 rebound away.
He's got to fly in there. That pass from Trent Perry, I know it leads to a brick, but that was with his left hand, and that was a missile across the floor.
Yeah, that zipped. He does not need an assist for a triple-double. And inside, everything but a two-legged wedgie. And the jump ball points it towards UCLA.
You don't see many like that, where it kind of is rolling around the rim and somehow just gets stuck up there.
Watch this. I mean, that just got lodged.
Oh, the players got it. I thought it was just rolling off and somehow got stuck. All right, not as cool.
We're just gonna say that it did anyway.
Yeah.
Bilodeau, no, and Zerno the rebound.
Look at him push.
Here's Francis leaning in for three, way off.
And it doesn't go down, but he gets an open shot because of the push of Lino Mark. That puts so much pressure on the defense. Tariq Francis, for as good as he was last night, he just has been out of it here.
1 for 7 tonight from the floor, and an offensive foul going the other way against UCLA. It'll be foul number 5 on the Bruins. And here comes Mark to bring it up. Grant, open look from 3. And he'll hit.
Emmanuel Abole rolled incredibly quickly and incredibly hard, and 2 Bruin defenders go with him. Dylan Grant is wide open because of the effort that Emmanuel Abole gives.
What a time for his first bucket. Bilodeau swiping in on Grant, who picks up the personal. That's his 3rd.
Look at the attention here that Emmanuel Abole is going to command. As he just picks and rolls, you're going to have Bilodeau go with him, and you're also going to have Xavier Booker looking to get back. He's now late to the shooter. Dylan Grant lines that one up from the top.
You had a couple of options on that play for Rutgers because Perry left the corner shooter as well.
When you roll hard, you can draw a crowd.
Oh, what a find. Somehow Jamar Brown, stealthy, just sneaking in there for 2.
Same play.
Here comes Francis against Bilodeau. Entry down low, back out to Francis. Shot fake, and now the drive from the elbow. Francis now with 6.
He got to the body there, Kevin. He knocks Bilodeau back in a legal manner, but he gets him off balance, and he just stops right there on a dime.
Perry going to work against his opposite number, Tariq Francis.
UCLA is certainly content to work this clock and run this thing down.
Limit opportunities, 7 to shoot. And Lino Mark, good anticipation with 5 on the shot clock.
Rutgers did a nice job there of loading up from the weak side. And that read has to be, it's the skip pass, because everybody's taking away the roll.
9-point game. Dent will inbound. 5 to shoot for UCLA. Bilodeau crash into the rim and a foul. That close to an and-one with a 2-hand flush, and Buchanan picks up his 4th personal.
This is getting late in this clock, and it's just a terrific cut by Tyler Bilodeau. Donovan Dent, I'm sure that internal clock in his head is getting close to 3 and 4. Bilodeau just makes a break on it, and then he's going up to hammer that thing.
Two free throws for the 87% shooter. One more for Bilodeau.
Donovan Dent, just in kind of seeing him and his demeanor out here. You know, Andy kind of reported on this of his change of mindset, attitude. I think it's visible.
Oh, no question.
That you can just see that it's fun for him to play right now. That's a great feeling.
Well, he's got a lot of opportunities. There's a lot of weapons that have developed on this team. Here's Francis, step in 3, won't go. Abole the rebound, but a foul on the Rutgers big man. That is his 3rd.
That's as animated as you'll ever see Emmanuel Abole.
8th team foul, free throws on the other end.
It's one of those that's tough, because it's not like Bilodeau is necessarily crazy blocking him out. Abole's trying to go up over the top of him. And you see after the initial foul, you do have the hold from Bilodeau. But sometimes the optics of that, of him crashing into Bilodeau's back, it's a tough call.
Front end of the 1-1 for Bilodeau. Let's check in with Andy.
You know, I want to pick up on what Robbie was just saying about Donovan Dent. You got to remember, coming out of high school, he wanted to go to UCLA, wasn't recruited by UCLA, wasn't good enough, wasn't on their radar, ends up going to New Mexico, has to sort of play behind Jalen House, waits his turn, gets to be the player of the year in Mountain West Conference, and leads New Mexico to that second round. And then he decides to go back to UCLA with SoCal. So much pressure coming back home. And as we've documented, it just took time for him to accept that, block out the outside noise when he wasn't playing well early, and now we're seeing him feeling entirely comfortable in this situation.
And with his 8th double-double of the season tonight, and 1 rebound away from a triple-double. Here's Francis. Now Mark inside. That'll drop. Lino Mark with 10.
Well, his improvement from the start of the year is pretty remarkable. I saw Rutgers out at the Players era, and just seeing the way, the confidence that Mark is playing with now. It's like a different guy.
First Rutgers Scarlet Knight into double figures tonight. Perry attacking. Tough pass to handle when it's knocked away. Mark will go on the move, end to end, to the rim. Lino Mark explodes for 2 more.
But first, Kevin, it's the acceleration. Then you get to the body, and it's the decel. Takes the ability away to block the shot. What a burst here from Lino Mark.
12 now for Mark. And the Scarlet Knights fighting back in. Here's Perry. A little bump, a second. No on the shot. Rebound, Tariq Francis.
This is another one of those examples where the favorite starts to struggle, and the whole building outside of UCLA fans, that they will turn on the favorite.
On the drive, the dish, Mark in the corner. An air ball 3, trickles out, and it ends up in the hands of Donovan Dent. Does that rebound count as number 10? The official stats have not updated yet. And it is the first triple-double in the history of the Big Ten tournament.
That's pretty remarkable.
And a 3 on the other end for Tyler Bilodeau.
Kevin, think about all the great players that have played in this thing. For there to never have been a triple-double, and we're over, what, 20 or 25 years of this thing? What an accomplishment for Donovan Dent.
He's got 10 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds. And a foul is called to take us to the media timeout. UCLA triple-double since Kyle Anderson in 2013.
Slow-mo.
5th all-time.
Love that. Slow-mo could play. Still could play.
Yes. And Bilodeau swats that one right back with 2:14 to go. Pretty impressive night from some point guards on this network. Braden Smith.
No kidding.
Donovan Dent.
Man, have that go back to back. Right, that's a great point.
Lino Mark, he's had a nice night through the contact, and he'll go to the line for a pair. He had 16 assists tonight for Braden Smith to set the Big Ten tournament single game record. Tonight you have Donovan Dent with the first ever triple-double in a Big Ten tournament game. And just the 5th all-time at UCLA.
Yeah, and coming into the season, I mean, you look at Donovan Dent and you look at Braden Smith, right? And you're thinking, well, those are 2 of the best point guards in the country. Yeah. Tonight, they look like it, that's for sure. And Lino Mark has really had a nice second half here. And we talked about this 2 nights ago for Penn State. With all these young guys, they've gotten some invaluable experience. And for them to go 5-3 in their last 8, and many of those wins were against teams that were near them or below them in the standings. But to win those games, some of them on the road, especially with their struggles, now it's about retaining. You've got to keep these guys together, and there's still a ways to go.
Nice steal, good recovery by Trent Perry to come back for the block. You know, Lino Mark's always a little extra motivated from Los Angeles, playing against UCLA. Steve Pikiell was recruiting Chris Woolley, and they said they just kept seeing this guy pop on tape.
Yeah.
Turned out it was Lino Mark, and they convinced him to go from the west to the east, and he's really grown into his role. But the two guards tonight have been Braden Smith and Donovan Dent in the evening, and both taking flight. Braden Smith with one of his 16 assists in a remarkable fashion. How about Donovan Dent? He says, look, I'm going to dive too, and toss it back into play. So even on a night where we are showing the two best guards on the floor tonight, both had to go full extension.
The dirty work.
Yeah, that the big guys on these teams never want to do.
Well, please,
okay. Those guys just never wanted to, I can remember the guys who just sort of roam around the perimeter looking for a three.
Just how many threes can I jack? Yeah, that was a good mindset for me.
I never said your name. You interpreted that as yourself. I'm
so used to just taking shots.
I mean, I'm hurt by that insinuation. It's a painful thing to hear.
Well, I promise you, though, Donovan Dent, he'll get on the floor for that 10th rebound. It's really like a loose ball that he gathered up there, but that was the one.
Triple-double tonight, the first in Big Ten tournament history. Buchanan inside, working hard, rebound by Daly, and with 1:24 to go, a foul on Darren Buchanan, and that is his fifth. And they take it away from Buchanan. It ends up with Obole. You see the triple doubles in program history. Bill Walton, Jelani McCoy, Toby Bailey, Kyle Anderson, and Donovan Dent. I don't know what happened in 1995 where you had two of the five in UCLA history.
It's a good list.
It's a great list.
Some really good players.
Maybe the greatest college player of all time, and Bill Walton at the top of that list. (69-56). Bruins by 13. Francis, look at the hoist. It's just been that kind of night for Tariq Francis. 6 points on 2 of 10 shooting and 0 for 4 from 3.
And for them to win this game, he was going to have another night like last night. Obviously, that is not materialized.
Just never got it going the way he wanted to tonight.
And you almost wonder if he expanded so much energy last night. That was a gritty, come-from-behind game to really grind that thing out. And he gave so much that 29 was impressive.
To 56. 4 Bruins in double figures. Daly 1 for 2 at the line. He's got 10 tonight. Coming up under a minute to go in this one. And Lino Marth bumped, count that bucket in the foul. Steven Jamerson off the bench with his first personal.
I was kind of talking about this earlier, but Mark a freshman, Dylan Grant a sophomore. You're going to lose a Bole. Got Dennis Bottleau, he hasn't played tonight. Chris Woolley is injured. Jamichael Davis a junior, Zerno a freshman, Dortch a sophomore, Powers a freshman. So you've got a lot of guys that can come back. Tariq Francis Jr., Darren Buchanan Jr. And now for Rutgers, it's just the question always becomes, if you go young, can you, after you pay the price of playing youth, keep that group together and have some of those sacrifices pay off next year?
That's always the challenge.
They could cheer for his air balls, but I thought that they told him to tone it down.
Well, I think there was a lot of chanting that went on during the night. Perhaps it was all complimentary.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Oh, Francis with the takeaway. And the intercept for Tariq Francis. And that three short once more. Freeney the rebound.
I think barely got to the rim, Kevin.
No. Again, rough night for Francis.
Good to see him back on the floor.
Really is, and moving well. The band has been raised up on the right leg, more to the calf area. Dent with the triple-double tonight. 5 to shoot. Dent, the fadeaway will drop. 12 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds tonight. Zerno's three off. Long rebound to Clark. He'll dribble this one out. And the UCLA Bruins are on to quarterfinal Friday. A hard-fought 72-59 win over the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and now UCLA and Michigan State match up